you can say dicks as much as you want. This is a free dick zone. I feel like I say that way too much, and I should probably like calm down on the things that I say, because it's nice to be on Roadhounds because it's uncensored, so I get to say whatever I want. So I take advantage of that a little too much, and I don't think I should.
Nice.
But
Nonsense.
this week's episode on Headbangers Havoc, I have the beautiful, beautiful gentleman in Deadtide. Which one? I love your name and welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off. I'm a huge Soilwork fan. Huge Soilwork fan.
Nice.
And if I can hear any influences in your music, I think one of dirt on me. I'm filthy. It has that vibe of it doesn't sound anything like Soilwork, but I can feel the influence of Soilwork in your music. And no one's doing that anymore. And Deadtide is a great example of that vibe, and I think I love it. Is that something you guys are going to go with in the future, or just keep moving forward into that? I don't even know what genre you even put that in.
That's our whole goal. So we'll keep moving forward. We'll keep taking influences from the past, from the future, from now. A little bit of everything. Everyone listens to different music here, so we kind of blend it together. Keep the metal, and then interject our own stuff.
What do you guys all listen to? Does anybody listen to anything weird, or is it all kind of down the same parallel highway?
We all share stuff in common, but I'd say that we listen to everything from like metal to pop.
You really got me into the midnight.
Oh yeah.
Hey, listen.
Vaporwave.
The Midnight's awesome. Do you guys listen to Gunship at all?
Since 2018, yes.
Gunship is been my favorite band for the past 4 years. My one friend showed it to me, and I was like, this is awesome. And I've been going down that whole retro synthwave avenue for a while, like the Midnight, Time Cop 1975, all that Gunship and stuff like that. Is that something that you guys are going to introduce into your music? Anything has that? I see a head in the back just going.
Maybe.
Well,
everyone's just gonna have to wait.
Well, that's what I mean. When's the last time you guys released new music?
A couple years ago.
2021.
Yeah, the rabbit hole came out.
Mid 2021, yeah.
And so everyone was a little burnt on it. So
yeah, I was gonna say, what the fuck are you doing?
We were realigning with other stuff, other areas of our lives. We got some better jobs and stuff, so we could kind of bring more to the production this time. And then we started laying the groundwork for the new stuff, which is halfway done. So that'll be coming out in 2024. In
2024, you're going to put out a new record. Are you guys down? So I was going to say, are you guys in the whole album situation? You guys in the EP thing? I think everyone's doing the EP thing, and I think I'm a giant fan of the EP route.
That's something that we kind of figured out early on. We did it single by single until we had enough. We were kind of halfway into a full album, and then it was easier to kind of put the whole thing together because we were building piece by piece. We were releasing single by single, and then finally we released the whole album.
That's the way to do it. Feeding the Spotify beast, if you will, the machine. It's becoming terrible, and I feel like that's one of the conversations that I always have with bands is, what is your? No one has an answer. That's one. No one has a real answer to what's the correct thing to do with releasing music, because it's still, even I talk to people that that own the biggest labels, the biggest management companies, and also unsigned artists, everybody, and it's always the same thing. Is it's like the wild west. You shoot into the abyss and try to figure out what's going to work for you, and it's like a crapshoot. So what do you guys? Do you guys have secrets in the playlisting world or the streaming world, or you just kind of hope it works?
It's a mix. I think we've kind of fine-tuned some of our stuff, and then every year, there just becomes more and more noise in the content world. So you just have to up the ante every time and try new things, see what sticks, keep all the old stuff that worked in place, and continue to move forward with current trends. And anyone who can help, we're always willing to try new stuff.
It's always an interesting. It's how do you grow your band but still take the amount of time that you still need to hone your craft. I feel like most people now are focusing less on the music and more on how do I get on this week's hard rock release Spotify playlist. And it's kind of the devaluation of music, to be completely honest, on my end. And I that's why I really do enjoy your band. I think it's exactly what I listen to, which is great. It makes this a lot easier because you guys don't suck, which is it's nice.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Live streaming's back. And you know where we're doing it? Over at Roadhounds. And it's fucking free. All you have to do is go to roadhounds.io and you go to the Metal City fucking free zone. That means it's free for you to come watch me be a complete idiot. It's pretty crazy. You can move the controls on your mobile screen with your hand, or you can use a keyboard. Just don't forget to take screenshots of your avatar because I want to see it. You can discover free media inside Rock City. All you have to do is look for some terminals and click on some shit. Now you can learn about all your new favorite bands and all your next new headliners. If you want to join our community of headbangers, all you have to do is subscribe. So you can get even more content by just subscribing at Roadhounds. So we're going to give you a free Metal City free zone. And then if you want extra super cool, awesome content, you just subscribe. We're going to make a positive difference to our music community. For once, finally, a positive fucking experience.
But so you guys are actually kind of close to me. I think you guys are from like the Jersey-ish, New York area.
Yes.
Jersey and New York, yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm from Northeast Pennsylvania, so I'm like the Scranton area. I think you guys are probably only like
We recorded in
Soundmine.
Strasbourg.
at Soundmine
Yeah,
Yeah.
Soundmine.
with
Yeah.
Dan.
Not with Dan, with our guys, but we were in Studio B.
I actually managed Dan and his studio.
That's fun.
I love that studio so much.
It's
Man,
amazing.
what a small world. Holy
Yes, it
shit.
is.
Yeah.
Isn't that studio insane?
We love it. We
Yeah.
wanted to record in Pennsylvania, do something different, kind of take more of like the radio route. And our guys, Sean and Dylan World, are twins. It's like getting like a tag team.
Nice.
One will tap in, the other one. Yeah, it's like when the other one's like tapped out. And, they met up with Dan and we recorded there a little bit. And it was pretty cool to see some of the records that came out of there. They're doing a lot of the Dolby stuff.
Yeah.
They're doing Ghost, Avenged Sevenfold. It's wild.
Yeah, it's like watching him mix some of those records, especially in his Atmos room, is kind of one of the most insane things that you'll ever see. It's because you're watching like this man has Grammy nominations and he's just like dude, just fucking around like, and also telling dick jokes at the same time. So he's our kind of people, which is great. And Dan is great. And if anybody that needs to use a studio that's listening to this, Soundmine is fucking awesome, and he's putting out some great shit. He's working on some great shit. And it's crazy to see like what comes through Pennsylvania. Like the Avenged guys were just like hanging out at like the local casino and
Or Sands.
yeah, just fucking
That
hanging
round,
out. Yeah, just hanging out. And I was like, well, like, I'm grateful to become friends with those gentlemen, but in Northeast Pennsylvania, that shit doesn't exist. I mean, the last thing that came out of here was Breaking Benjamin, and that was 900 years ago. And my old band,
Boys.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love. So I'm a huge. Growing up, I was a giant Breaking Benjamin fan. I mean, is that something you guys? It's always like you hate them or you love them because. But I don't know how do you guys feel about Breaking
He
Benjamin?
hates them. He's a Jets fan. He hates them, and he has a tattoo of
I
them.
hate them so much. Yeah, I got a tattoo on my leg.
What tattoo do you have?
Breaking Benjamin. Their
Oh yeah. Well, what is
their
it?
Logo.
Their logo.
Can't really see
You have
it.
their logo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, that's sick. I love those
Old
dudes.
school.
They're fucking awesome.
Great.
That was one of
I
the
met
best.
them in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah.
Magic. All the magic.
They're,
PA.
Their first show that they came back, it was like an acoustic show, and he literally came down the line of all the people waiting in and just like shook their hand. So I got a picture of one and was like crazy.
Good
Because
people.
he looked more scared of me than I was of him.
He is scared of everybody,
Yeah.
which is fine. Ben Burnley
Oh, yeah.
is
We all
He's
have
the-
anxiety.
yeah, he has and he's a sweetheart. He's the nicest. They are the nicest people, and it's great to see them come out of Pennsylvania. And I love that you guys are so close. I would love to see your band play. Do you guys suck live, or are you guys good live?
No, we're good.
Pretty good.
Hey.
Some pretty good stuff.
Hey, I like that. So speaking of seeing live, what's the plan on, are you just focusing on new music, or are you guys playing out a bunch, or what's the situation?
Mostly new music right now. We're taking shows as like, people are reaching out to us, but we're not actively pursuing putting them together ourselves currently, just because we want to focus on that new album and getting that out. Because we're all, everyone's kind of chomping at the bit
Yeah.
to release some new stuff, and we want to give people some new stuff because it's time. We're really inspired right now, and it feels good to roll forward. So that's the main focus.
What are current inspirations for you guys, like musically and just in life? Like, what is? I always, it's tough to ask questions when you're interviewing somebody because one, I know where to find all your shit. I can go to Google and be like, all right, they're from New Jersey, they're from this, but like, what makes you wake up in the morning and want to write music? Is it your family? Is it your animals? Is it the people that are standing around you? Is it the means to go out and play in front of 20,000 people, or is it like what scratches that itch?
Those, and then life experiences, everything that's kind of transpiring on planet Earth right now, which is pretty wild. Some of us understand it, some of us don't. That's kind of the point of our music. That's like a big part of the mission, is to just gently outreach the hand and show people that there's way more to life than what we see in front of us. You know what I mean? It's honestly, at its core, it's spiritual metal.
Spiritual metal?
Yes.
Hey, that sounds catchy as fuck.
That's
I
us.
like that. Hey,
We coined it a few years ago.
really?
So,
I'm
yes.
writing that down. I love that.
Don't steal it. We know where you live. We know where your restaurant is.
Hey, actually, I moved last week, so do you?
We'll find out.
All right, us.
Actually, it's just across the street though, so it's not far. I just bought a theater. That's where I'm in right now. I mean, I just
nice.
bought
Congrats.
I just bought it's a 700 cap venue. And downstairs there's like spaces. So I have my restaurant is downstairs. There's some retail spots, and then upstairs is a beautiful theater. So I would love to have you guys at some point, since you are so close, to definitely play here, because I think I would love to see your band. I haven't seen your band live, and I would love to.
Yeah, we'd love to.
that'd be
That'd
great.
be awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is a virtual city where metal culture thrives, and to be honest, there's nowhere else like it. So we want to show you what it's all about, and all you have to do is go to roadhounds.io and just subscribe.
So let's talk about the thing that's on your forehead. What the fuck is it?
The third eye.
Brown eye.
Is it just a stamp? Is it painted on, or do you actually have a white tattoo on your head that has that? Or are you gonna get it tattooed on your head?
So there's, I don't know. The face tattoo would be the first. So it'd be maybe I'd be a trendsetter and going face first and then the rest. But this time it's eyeliner. It was easier to draw on. The first time it was like someone was just like, oh yeah, just get UV paint and brushes, and it was like really hard to apply. This one I was able to do in like 10 minutes.
Oh, so
it's just a quick small one.
It's just white eyeliner.
It's UV blue.
Oh, so smart.
There's a black light. There's
close,
regular lighting on either side, and then there's a black light in front of me.
So in your live show, I'm guessing you do this as well.
Not the whole thing, the partial thing.
You have to do it all. I want to see it. I feel like I want. It's weird because like when you talk about metal, and especially spiritual metal, like how do you portray that live? I mean, do you care to portray that live? Like I would love to see that, something like, I don't even know how to like. How do you take that existential trip in a Deadtide show, instead of just, you're in a venue, let's say, all right, so in my venue I have a 20x40 projection screen, I have tons of space. What does a Deadtide show look like, when, like, not just like now, but like what do you want it to look like?
So the projector, I'm not going to give everything away, but there's a lot that goes on up here that we've talked about, and for years now. Not just like, it's not like we've seen it or whatever. These are things that like just ideas from even 10 years on, you know what I mean? And so it was, which pieces are the most important? What's the simplest way to arrive where we want to be at the moment? And then work our way up, just because it takes more and more effort. You know what I mean? Like if we had a stage crew, we'd be doing everything. You know what I mean? If we had,
hey, that's a cop out. That's not an answer.
is it?
That's not. Hey, if we had hands, we would do everything. It's such a cop out. I mean, do you want?
We're gonna do it like, I don't know if we'll be able to do like the whole thing just yet. And that's the thing, is like we're slowly introducing stuff in, as we feel like we can handle it.
Yeah,
Because remember, like we usually just get like 10 to 15 minutes changeover.
it's true.
So to set everything up is a lot. And that's kind of like why we do what we can with that time.
Are you
So
guys?
we're introducing more.
Yeah, are you guys? So how does it feel? So obviously you have guitar, drums, this, that. Like, how do you? At what point do you think? Are you guys one of those bands that forever will set up your own equipment, or are you guys stoked on getting crew and just being like, my shit's tuned. I got an Evertune out there. I got this guy setting up my shit. I'm just walking out. Or are you guys the type that like you want to go out and set up your own shit? Are you picky? Like, I mean, singers are different. Singers just walk out. It's
I was already going to say that.
It's
Yeah,
like-
king
it's
of the
like-
castle. King of the castle.
but for you guys, like, are you super picky when it comes to anyone touching your shit? Or are you just like, just give me something that fucking works?
Well, if they set it up in the right place,
If they know what they're doing, like,
What they're doing,
you know,
I'd say down the line for sure. Like not right now. I think we have a handle on everything, of course, you know, at the moment.
Yeah.
But down the line, you know, when things start really picking up and going crazy and you know, we really got to start setting up and playing, you know, bigger, huger shows, then yeah, possibly. But right now I think
would be
we have a
nice.
pretty decent handle on our own stuff. And so
yeah, it's not even so much like the gear. It's more, let's say the projector, the light show. Like there's a lot of, those were the specifics that I was talking about that
Yeah.
if we had enough hands, that would be easy to do with a short changeover. It's all up here. You know, we have all the plans and stuff, but we're working them in as
It's
we
tough.
can.
It's tough to do it on a budget, and like it's especially you talk about jobs and like working and 9 to 5s, and I mean I was in a band for a long time, and I took money where I could, whenever I could, however I could, and tried to hustle. I worked at Came. I remember one of the first tours that when I was in Motionless, I was a cashier at fucking Kmart. Like I was like, I had my first apartment was $200 a month and I couldn't even afford to live there. I had to move out. I mean, obviously this is a long time ago that when it was $200 a month, I was splitting it with our drummer. It was $400. We lived above his parents. So yeah, it's crazy to be able to, I applaud bands these days because to be able to, whatever the fuck's going on in the real world, and then you have to deal with all the shit that's in your personal life, and then and a work life on top of that, and then a band life, and then a band relationship life. Like you guys have to like each other. That's fucking difficult. There's 5 of you. Like you guys have to enjoy. That's the hardest part. Is not only, but then you have to try to leave your shit at home. Like your girlfriend's like, you know, being a bitch. Your mom's being a bitch. Your dad's being a dick. Like then you got to go practice with 5 dudes, and you're in a bad mood, and then they're gonna catch off and leech off your bad mood. Like that shit sucks. And I think, you know, you're talking about spiritual metal is like that to me is great. I love that. I know portraying that, like I feel like I can see your live show and just understand that it's more of like, you know, like what Tool used to do fucking 20 years ago, not as much now because Maynard's kind of crazy, but you know, you fall into those shows and you kind of fall in love with, you know, music becomes secondary.
Experience.
Yeah, and I love that. Like my entire life is about experience. So I appreciate you guys, even maybe not being there here now, but just you showing up with a black light and fucking a third eye drawn on your forehead. That takes time. It may have been a couple minutes. Like you guys being backlit in the background. You guys look great. You have a logo behind you. I interviewed a dude and he pulled up Zoom in his car while he was driving. And I was like, he's a gentleman, great guy, but like, come on, man, like
He's on the way to his 3rd job. Give him a break.
that's true. He actually just got off work. But no, I love that. I can tell that you guys take the extra mile, and I think everyone is going to be excited for Deadtide's new music, and as am I. I've become, you know, whenever I do these interviews, I try to deep dive even further and listen into discography and things like that. And that's when I was like, these motherfuckers haven't released anything. What the fuck?
We wanted to really release the best we possibly could, because remember that every time a new person listens to your music, it's new music. So if it's timeless, it'll always be new.
Hey,
That was our goal. So we
Right.
made the best record we possibly could to promote
that
that while we worked on the next stuff. and just we wanted to lay that groundwork super strong
I love
because
that.
each time we like to outdo ourselves. So if we, set the bar pretty high, the last one, we knew that we would challenge ourselves to do a better one, or something on par, in the same vein. Moving forward,
Yeah.
similar sound, but this one's a little bit. We brought back the breakdown. We decided it was time. So our
It's hot.
metalcore love roots and stuff. Yeah, obviously you guys.
Hey,
You're
I
no
know.
stranger to that.
I
We
know.
loved it, but it was overdone. We, a lot of deathcore and stuff for a while. We didn't listen to it, but it was just like it was breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. So we're like, let's bring back the riff. Let's focus on the melodies and harmonies. And then when things the dust settles from all that, let's bring it back.
Yeah, I think it's time. Hey, it's time.
Yeah.
And with that, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I think we're all ready for Deadtide 2024. And we're looking forward to all new music, all new visuals. I would love for you guys to come play my venue. So please stay in touch. I can't wait to see you guys do great things. And I love spiritual metal. That makes me so pumped. I'm going to listen to your shit on the way home and try to vibe to it. But, gentlemen,
Yes.
thank you for taking the time, and I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, John.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
man.
Thanks, man.
Go to roadhounds.io and come hang out with me in the metaverse while we watch live shows, we go through stores, maybe we'll give away some guitars, some drums, maybe some free root beer. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want, we're going to give it away. Go to roadhounds.io and subscribe now. Come hang out with me.